Hey there, it's Tricia with Easy E-mini Trade, and tonight I wanted to show you a couple charting tips when you're drawing your support and resistance when using Sierra and Ninja that will make your life a whole lot easier. And also on Thursday I'm going to be doing a webinar on getting over the fear of taking a trade, and in that I'll go over support and resistance and using multiple time frame analysis and also recording and tracking your trades. So the charting tips that I'm about to show you will come in handy for the webinar. I'll show you again during the webinar, but I just thought that a lot of you might get some use from using these couple little tips. And if you wanted more information on the webinar, go to my website, www.easyeeminitrade.com, and then just choose the webinar tab at the top for December 4th. Okay, so I'm just going to show you on the NQ real quick. Now I've got a bunch of different charts here. Over here on the left I've got a 2-minute, lower left a 5-minute, upper right a 15, below a 30, and then a 60. So this is Sierra charts. So let's say that we want to draw support and resistance using a 15-minute chart. I always recommend using something larger, a broader view. It could be a time-based chart or a tick-based chart, but for the sake of this video, let's just use the 15. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a line in the areas where I see resistance continually being hit and support being continually hit. So here you can see we've got support here, we've got support here. The bar broke down, but it came right back and closed right in that area. You can see the high of this bar, this bar, this bar. So you can see lots of support and resistance in this area of 95.75, for example. So typically you're not trading off a 15-minute chart. Most people are trading off a range chart or a smaller time-based chart or even a tick chart. But let's say, because this is an easier view, you want to draw your support and resistance lines on this 15-minute chart, but you want them to show up on all your other charts. It's really simple to do. All you have to do is just click on the chart that you want to make active. So I'm going to click on this 2-minute chart, and you can right-click and choose chart settings, or you can go up here to the chart tab and choose chart settings. And what I'm going to do is, you can see up here on this 15-minute chart, this is chart number 5. You can see it right there. And I'm going to go here under Advanced Settings 2, and I'm going to put number 5 in there. So what that means is anything that I do on this chart, number 5, this 15-minute chart, is now going to be drawn on my 2-minute chart. Let's say that you also use your 60-minute to draw broader areas of support and resistance. You can see this is chart number 6, and you can see it up here as well in the very top part of the ribbon here. You would go comma and then 6. So comma and 6. And anything I do on chart number 6 and chart number 5 would now show up on this 2-minute chart. So I'm going to click OK, and there's my support resistance line here that I drew on this 15-minute now showing up on my 2-minute. So now I'm going to just draw. I'll use this here as a general area of support. This seems to be a pretty repeated area. You could see here support, 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 support. Even though we tried to break down through it a couple times, came right back and closed in that area. So now you can see on this 2-minute chart, these are the lines that I just drew on the 15-minute chart. So really simple to do. One thing that I will warn you about is if you decide that you want to remove this line off this 2-minute chart, you can't do it off the 2-minute chart. You would have to do it from the chart that it's copying from. So you see I just removed that line, and now it's removed off this 2-minute chart. And the same thing here on the 60-minute, because I chose to draw, copy the lines from chart number 5 and 6 whenever I do anything onto chart number 2. So if I draw this area here, 98.75, you can see it shows up on chart number 2. And you can do that, you know, same thing on the 5-minute, whatever you like to do. So here's how you do it on Ninja. So let's see here. I'm going to use a 60 and a 5-minute chart on Ninja. So on the right I've got the 5-minute chart. On the left I've got a 60-minute chart. So let's just change this to a 15. All right, so here's a 15-minute chart on Ninja. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw support resistance line, and you can use your shortcuts, or you can go up here to your tools, choose the horizontal line, and I'm going to draw this line right here. Now what I did was, let me just start from scratch here. So I'm going to just get rid of this as all charts here. Okay, so let's just start over so I can show you how to set it up. Alright, so I'm going to draw my line, and I'm just going to use my shortcut, and I'm just going to put this line right here at support here, resistance, resistance. So pretty easy to see, right? And I set it as default, so it's going to keep showing up here on this 5-minute, sorry. But how I did that was, on your line, I chose to draw the line on all NQ charts. So anything that I do on this 15-minute chart in the way, or any chart for that matter, that I do on an NQ chart will show up on all my NQ charts. And what I did was I set it as default. And so now anything that I do on this chart here is going to show up on all NQ charts. And you don't have to do that. You can just choose which charts you want to draw on. And all I did was just double click on the line, and here if you had, like, let's say all different NQ charts open, a 2-minute, a 5-minute, you can choose which ones you want it to draw on, you know, copy from this chart onto, or like you could just do what I did here, all charts, and like I said, I set as default. So let me just change that. I'll do this, set as default, so I can start from scratch. So let's do it again so you can see it from scratch. So here's my line, and now I want it to draw on all my NQ charts. I'm just going to double click on that, and I'm going to choose all charts, and I'm going to set it as default, but you don't have to. You can just make it so this one line that you're drawing is going to draw on all your NQ charts. But if you choose set as default, any line that you do on any of your NQ charts, oops, not the vertical, sorry you guys, anything that you do on this chart in the way of these horizontal lines will show up on all your NQ charts. And that's it. Simple. And if you want to change it back, you just go back and double click on it to make it active, and then go back and just choose which ones you want to draw on, and then set it back as default so where it won't be showing on all the charts. Okay, so I hope you find that helpful, and if you'd like to attend the webinar on Thursday, I think you'll get some great information. And like I said, just go to my website and choose the webinar tab. Okay, you guys have a great night and take care.